Shalom, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Set Apart Cooking. My name is Rebbetzin Julie Berkson, and today I have Shamash Rob Wyatt with me. I've invited him to demonstrate how to make challah. For those of you who don't know what challah is, in English, the word is cake or loaf. The first time we see the word challah mentioned in scriptures is in Numbers 15, 18 to 21, and I'm going to read it. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, "Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, when you come into the land to which I bring you, then it shall be, when you eat of the bread, or lechem, of the land, that you present a contribution, or truma, to Yahweh. Present a challah, cake, of the first of your dough or kneading as a contribution. As a contribution of the threshing floor you presented. Of the first of your dough you are to give to Yahweh a contribution throughout your generations." So it is tradition to make challah for Shabbat. And here at Bet Shalom, Shamash Rob runs the challah team. So I would say that would make you a professional or expert on it.
Wow.
Yeah, so challah is usually made out of wheat bread and egg. And I found it interesting, I love fun facts, is that our brother Yehuda would, when they moved to non-Jewish neighborhoods and they made their challah, their neighbors became very interested in this interesting shaped bread because it smelled so good and looked so good. So they would adopt their customs. And that is why you'll see challah made throughout the world, even in places where our brother Yehuda is not a prevalent part of the community. So Shamash Rob, why don't you explain to us how we prepare the dough for challah?
All right. Hello, everyone. Yes, as Rebbetzin says, I manage the challah team. We have some excellent challah makers here. And so this recipe is basically the basic challah. It's your foundation. You can make this into just about anything you want from there. So what we're going to do is first what we'll do is I have some warm water. It's about 105, 110 degrees Celsius, somewhere around 40 degrees Celsius for the international people. So, and then we'll use this. It's about 1.33 cups of warm water. So we have some honey. So, and this will help proof the yeast. So I'm not measuring this out, but it's about, I can eyeball it, about a tablespoon of honey. And then we have a portion of the yeast. So it's about 2.5 teaspoons, just short of about a tablespoon of yeast, active yeast. And then we're just going to mix that in with that honey and this warm water. And this is what this does is proof. It's what we call the proofing of the yeast. And it will, so then we'll kind of move that over to the side for just later use. I'll put it back here maybe. And then we'll set it back here. So next, in my mixing bowl is what I'm going to do is put 2 eggs. So I like to break the eggs into a bowl instead of directly into there. Just eliminate the shells, and then sometimes when you use this, if you use organic or pasture raised, sometimes you'll have the little blood spots or anything like that, and typically you probably don't want that into your challah. So you just will crack an egg, put that one in there. There we go. 2 perfect eggs. There you go. Thank you. And then those 2 will go into the mixer. And there. So then after that, we have salt. We have about a teaspoon of I'm using pink salt, Himalayan salt. That will go into the mixer as well. And then I'll need some oil, or no, the sugar is right here. So I have it measured out. It's just this is just plain sugar. You can use different sweeteners. There's all kinds of sweetener, but this is for the sake of is a 1/4 cup, 4 tablespoons of just plain sugar. All right, so next we'll use a 1/4 cup of olive oil. So that'll go in there into the mixing bowl. 1/4 cup.
Here we go.
So from here, we will mix this we'll blend all of this together with a whisk attachment on the mixer.
So how high is speed?
I go all the way up
All the way up.
to 10.
10.
So basically, we're whipping the egg, beating the egg, and it's mixing the sugar, the oil, and the salt all in there, incorporating it all into the egg mixture. And there's no lumps. It's all kind of, because there would be no graininess or anything in the mixture.
Where was this back in Bible times?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. All of this can be done by hand. You can certainly do this into a bowl, whisk all this together, and then you can do the blending and the mixing with a spoon or whatever your attachment there, and you can knead all with hand. But I have this. This makes everything there. So next, I'll put the paddle attachment back on here. So then we have, as you see, this is proofed yeast now. So you see it's kind of got foamed up, it's bubbled up, it gets an aroma, it really kind of starts smelling like bread now.
Oh, it smells good.
So that will go into the mixing bowl as well. So then on this particular mixer, I go to number 2. So then we start incorporating the flour into this. So this is unbleached, I think that's what I use. Unbleached, bread flour. I typically use bread flour. You can use a lot of people use all-purpose, but I typically like the bread flour. It's a little bit lighter, and I think it's made for making bread. So and the mixer is on 2, and then what we'll do with the paddle mixer, so basically start putting the flour in 1 cup at a time. Let it start mixing into the, so we'll go up to, so this could take anywhere from 4 to 5.5 cups. And it depends. It's getting about the size of your eggs, or if you just got a little bit more extra water than you normally would use.
Right.
So you're going to have to, so this would be where we start mixing it. And once you get up to 4 cups, 4.5 cups, you can really see where it's at. And then as it's mixing, it'll start pulling away from the sides, and then that's about where you want to stop adding flour. Too much flour will make it a dense loaf. And you want to keep it airy and light. As you see, it's starting to incorporate. That's 3.
Yes.
And you can hear in the mixer it'll start pulling away from the sides, and then we'll stop the mixer, scrape the paddle, and then I'll explain that as I go through it. We'll cut it off of there, and then we'll add the kneading hook.
Okay.
So there's 4. And we're showing this because it's really easy to make challah. You know, a lot of people are intimidated by baking and stuff. Challah is very simple to make. It seems easy now for me. I'm making this a lot. It's through a lot of trial and error. I mean, I've made some not so good, a little bit denser ones, but it's all part of the all part of the experience. So that's 4. So this is about 4.5 right there. You see there. You can it's a lot of senses going into this. You can hear the mixer starting to start pulling the dough away, and it'll start struggling just a little bit. As you can see, it's not really mixing up. So that's about 4.5. So about another half. Here is you want to go light. Less is better.
Less is better.
Don't add a whole lot at the same time. Throw that in there. So we have 4.5, so this will make 5 total that we have in here. You see the mixer starting to pull it.
Yes.
And it's starting to pull, it'll start pulling it away from the sides. And that's really where we want it right there. Like I said, there's another part of the bacon or your prep is the visual as well. When you see that, you hear it. So there, the dough is really pulled away from the sides real good. It's not sticking to it. You just see it.
It's beautiful.
And then what we'll do is we'll pause that there, and then we'll take that off, and then we'll take the paddle. So then with the pastry tool here, the pastry cutter, not a cutter, I guess it's a pastry tool.
Yeah,
and,
scraper.
Dough scraper is there. So we use it to clean up everything you can off of here, just off of there.
He makes it look so easy, doesn't he? But I love that you said it's trial and error, that just don't give up. Just keep doing it, because eventually everyone gets the knack and the hang of it.
It is. And there's a lot of tutorials out there in the internet land. I just take that over there and watch that for later. So now we'll transfer, we'll put this is a kneading dough hook for this particular mixer.
Okay.
So then back to 2. And then the dough. So here also the dough could end up getting a little sticky. So you may have to add just a slight dusting, but it seems to be was pulled away, and your bowl basically is clean on the inside. So we're going to let this knead for about, I don't have my watch, but so about 10 minutes is a kneading process. So then you could, like I said, you could be doing this by hand. You just have to learn how to knead. I mean, I've done it before I bought this. You just knead it on the table on a floured surface, lightly floured surface. You just do a hand kneading, same amount of time, about 10 minutes. And basically get all of that gluten and everything going and working for you. And 10 minutes, we'll go through the next process of getting the dough prepped and getting it covered and getting it ready for the next part. And let it go into basically the rise. I mean, it's the very, very important part is the rise.
It's the rise. It's all in the rise.
Right. All right, so after 10 minutes of the kneading into the mixer, what we'll do is take this attachment off and unhook the bowl. So you see the dough is usually very, I would say very sticky, but it is kind of sticky. So the next step, I'm going to move this over on this side for right now. So we have a separate bowl. So what we're going to do is put just a little bit of the oil in here. We'll oil this bowl up. And I find that it's easier keep this from sticking to your hands, and just put a little bit of oil on your hands, and you just start taking the hook and just pull the dough away from the hook. There you go.
Okay.
And then what we'll do is take it, and like I said, it does tend to be a little sticky. That's why the oil on your hands, see, when you oil your hands, it'll eliminate that from kind of getting all over your hands. Some people may like it that sticky all over their hands, but I just find I try to pinch off a little bit. There might be a little residual in there. So what you'll do is take and roll that in that bowl, that oil, and you coat. So this eliminates the air from getting to there and drying out your challah, keeping it moist and stuff. So Rebbetzin, since my hands are kind of oily, if you want to take the towel that we set aside. So what we'll do from here is we'll just cover it. It's another layer of protection. We'll cover this, and you let it rise in a warm spot in your kitchen, wherever you got, that's. And it typically takes about an hour and a half, close maybe 2 hours, till it doubles in size. And then from there, we'll go from there. Then we'll go into the making of the loaves, braiding of the loaves and stuff. So, all right. So the next step is what we're going to do is lightly flour the surface for the challah. So not very much to knead. And then spread that out just slightly. And then what we'll do is uncover the challah. And it's doubled in size. And we'll bring it and dump it onto the surface, floured surface. It should come out pretty easy.
Nice.
So like that. So then next, do your hands are slightly floured. Get it turned over. And then what we'll do is divide it into 6 equal portions. So we'll do, I see, 3, and then divide those into, there's 2, 4, and 6. So 6 somewhat equal portions. And then what we'll do from here is I'm going to do one, and Rebbetzin Julie is going to do the other. We're going to do a 3 braid, a traditional 3 braid challah, two loaves and stuff. And Rebbetzin Julie is going to explain why we do 3 braids. So.
All right. So traditionally, challah loaf will be 3 strands braided so that when it's cooked, you will have 6 humps or bumps on top of the challah loaf. And you usually make 2 loaves so that when it's done, you'll have 12 total to represent the 12 tribes of Israel. So that's a beautiful tradition for Shabbat. Another thing is that you can make 4 strands, and for m.t.o.i, they will have a round challah. Oh, you're way faster than me because I'm talking. And so the round challah is traditionally made for m.t.o.i, or Rosh Hashanah, as most people call it. Also, people have made 12 strands, so that's getting really fancy.
Yeah, I wouldn't even attempt us 12 strand. I struggle with 3.
Oh, you're so good at this. See,
This is not my first time, so
Yeah.
I'll tell you
So
what,
here
then
we
we'll
go.
trade. I'll
Thank you.
let you, you're going to be the expert braiding person here. I can roll these out a little bit better.
I've done a few braids.
So basically you roll it out, each one about equal lengths. It makes it so you're not wasting any of the dough. And so would.
There we go.
So it's yeah, that's pretty close. All right, so what we'll do is the braid. Let's see if I do this right. Traditionally, usually I do a 4 strand. I find that's easier for me for whatever reason. So I'll let you do the first one. I'll follow your lead because I'm
Okay. So you would pinch it at the top and bring the 3 together. I don't know if you can see that, but I can lift it up.
This camera over here. So
There we go.
all right.
All right, so now I'm going to move it so that it's easier for me to braid it. Okay, so now the 3 strands are facing me. There we go. So you just bring it over and then bring the outer one on the right side over, and then just kind of split them so that you can make it nice and uniform. All right, and then, all right, so then you would bring it over that way, and then you would take the outer one and bring it over the middle. And so you're always bringing the outer strand over the middle strand.
I got it.
Right?
Like this.
There you go. Oh, now you're
Look how fast I am.
You're fast. I can keep up. There we go. And then you would pinch it at the end.
Pinch it at the end, and then typically I tuck the ends under.
Okay.
When I do that, and that'll kind of make it even. Reach it over, so like that.
Oh, they're so pretty.
So what I'll do is I'll this up just slightly. So this tool is basically a dough cutter, but it works. It's very, very handy when you're doing this type of work for dough and everything. So what we'll do is we have our parchment lined sheet pan.
Yes.
And we have here is 1 egg beaten for our egg wash for the challah. So what we'll do is place them. I think we'll place them long ways into the pan, and then we will do the egg wash. Let me get this one tucked in just a little bit. So we do a egg wash. This will give it that
sheen.
That brown. It'll make it brown. It'll make it the sheen, the shiny bread. Gives it almost like a glazed look.
Nice.
And so this is the classic challah, plain just white challah. There's many variations that we can do. This would be a point if you wanted to put seeds or anything on there. You could do it here on the wet egg wash. But today is just going to be classic challah.
Classic's always good.
Always. Can never go wrong. Like vanilla ice cream. When in doubt, go with vanilla.
Well, I'm a chocolate lover myself.
Right. So that is done. So now it is ready for the oven. So we're going to place it into a 350 degree oven, set a timer. I typically set a timer for about 18 to 20 minutes, and then I'll check. And I have a temperature a thermometer that I'll check. So once it reaches about 190 inside temp, then it's ready. It's pretty much cooked. Then you can take it out of the oven and it's ready. So typically about 20 minutes. It depends on the ovens. The first hot spots, but 20 minutes is usually the best. I found is the best time. 350 oven, and so we'll go from there. We'll put it in the oven and then bake it.
Can't wait.
All right. Okay, so we have now taken the bread out of the oven. Took approximately about 20 minutes to bake these 2 loaves. And the double check is always check the bottom to see the bottom's not over brown. You see a little bit and it's brown. And I have you can buy them and get them just about anywhere. It's a direct read thermometer. Stick it in there. So the 1 loaf, and I turned it about halfway through the baking. I turned it because the oven did have a little bit of hot spot on one side, but they come out about 195, something like that, degrees in there. So, and then it carried over, and they're perfect. Smells good.
It does.
And so this is 2 loaves of just classic challah that we've got. So
yeah, and you can see our lumps here. We have our 6 lumps on each challah. And so we did a good job braiding them. So there is no commandment to make challah, and it's definitely not a Torah instruction, but traditions are a beautiful thing, especially for Shabbat, if you can make Shabbat more special. So challah is just a beautiful tradition to bring in Shabbat, and when you're doing your Kiddush and Motzi blessing. And it is also tradition to dip or sprinkle a challah piece with salt, which represents the salt covenant. And that is found in Torah. In Leviticus 2, it says that all your grain offerings should be seasoned with salt. And also in 2 Chronicles 13:5, it says, "Do you not know that Yahweh, Elohim of Israel, has given the reign over Israel to Dawid forever, to him and his sons, by a covenant of salt." So that is also a beautiful tradition when we are about to eat our challah. And I think we should eat this.
We should try some.
Yeah, we should totally try it. Okay, so we're just going to pinch off some.
Here you go. Pinch off a piece.
Nice.
And then
Pretty.
a little salt.
Yay, salt covenant.
Right.
Cheers.
Very good.
Yum.
Nothing like warm bread.
Shalom, everyone.